Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Halo semuanya. Di video ini saya akan berbagi wawancara saya dengan tokoh Muslim di Tiongkok. Dia adalah Ketua Asosiasi Islam Guangdong, yaitu provinsi dengan penduduk terbesar di Tiongkok. Dan juga dia menjabat sebagai Wakil Presiden dari Asosiasi Islam Tiongkok yang bertempatkan di Beijing, ibu kota dari Tiongkok. Wawancara ini sebetulnya sudah saya buat setahun yang lalu, namun karena melewati proses editing yang cukup lama, diantaranya yaitu dengan menerjemahkannya ke dalam bahasa Indonesia, dan juga memberikan visual yang sesuai dengan apa-apa yang kita bicarakan saat itu. Oke, langsung saja seperti apa wawancaranya? Ini dia selengkapnya. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. How are you, Sheikh?
Alhamdulillah, very fine. How about you?
Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah. Sheikh, as you may understand that people in Indonesia are very excited to know more about Islam in China. Can you tell us more about that?
Islam came to China about the year 618 till 626. In that time, the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ designed the four Sahabi to be China for da'wah, also to be the business. The first Sahabi, Sa'd ibn Abi Waqqas, his uncle Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, he is first one of Sahabi came to Guangzhou for da'wah. Then he built the Chinese first mosque, the Manar Mosque. Till now, the history about 1,308 years, a long time. Nowadays, Chinese Muslims are about 21 million, separated to different places. The majority Muslim places is Xinjiang and Ningxia, Gansu, Qinghai. Another provinces, the Muslims is not many, like Guangdong. Guangdong, the local Muslims only 38,000, but the immigrants, the Muslims about 200,000. The Muslims here are free in every circles, such as the Islamic activities, the Islamic habits, the Islamic life, as our law confirmed by the countries. In this case, Muslims here, I think, is very happy. As you know, the Guangzhou city here has the Muslims about 80,000, including foreigners, including the Chinese immigrants from the different places of China to be the business here, and also in some the free time came to the mosque for pray. Alhamdulillah, everything is okay. Mosques here, as you know, the four mosques in our city. In our province, 7 mosques. But have some the provisional praying hall. This is for some the immigrants to do the Islamic life, Islamic activities with communion. Because they have some business here, not have too many time come to the mosque to do the pray. In this case, some of the Muslims organized the group to do provisional praying hall only for pray. But Jum'ah time, the Muslims go to the mosque for Salat Jum'ah. Easy. Alhamdulillah, the Muslims' life is here is happy.
People overseas mostly do not really understand how Muslim in China could do their religion, including the history. Even like you said before, actually Islam entered China during the era of the Prophet.
Islam come to China by the Prophet. This is true. This is not by my speaking, by the historical recorder. In Ming Dynasty, in China has very famous history people. His name is He Qiaoyuan. He wrote the one book, history book, name is Min Shu. He explained the Islam come to China by the Sahabi Prophet Muhammad ﷺ in the year 618 till 626. This is true. So that in the Asian, I think the Asian countries, the Islam come to China is the first. Also come to the time that Islam come to China in Tang Dynasty. Tang Dynasty in that time is very fresh in every circles, economy, culture, and another different technology. As you know, have the one very famous hadith, Utul ilm la bisuin. The meaning that is to seek the knowledge, even the difficult, even to the China, for the seek knowledge, no problem, must we do. This is first meaning. Second meaning also, in Tang Dynasty in that time, technology of China is developing. So Muslims, the world must be studied technology from China. can be the encourage the Muslims to be the healthy development, so that the Islam in that time is very influenced in the Asian countries, also very influenced in the world.
How people in China learn and study about Islam?
Different method, different size, from the family, from the special Islamic school, from the mosque, different.
Can you tell us each one of them, like from the family, how they learn Islam, and from the school, how they learn Islam at school, and from the mosque?
From the mosque, I have some Muslims come to the mosque for study from the Imam. So we have the training class to teaching the Islam knowledge to the people come to the mosque want to know the Islam. This is the first method. Second, from the family, the parents also teaching the children, teaching the habit of Islam, teaching some Islamic knowledges to his children. From the university, from the college in China, have the Islamic college, the 11, the China Islamic Institute, Beijing Islamic Institute, Shenyang Islamic Institute, Lanzhou Islamic Institute, Hebei Islamic Institute, Lanzhou Islamic Institute, Ningxia Islamic Institute, Xinjiang Islamic Institute, Qinghai Islamic Institute, Henan Zhengzhou Islamic Institute, Kunming Islamic Institute.
From what age people here in China could join the school?
This Islamic Institute accepted graduated students from the high school, because this is like a university. The education is a high education, so must accepted the student graduated from the high school, then can be the college for Islam studies, the full studies. Nowadays, I heard some Islamic Institute in China also established subject of the master, Islam master. Also after some time, maybe the subject of doctor. Slowly to be developed.
So what about yourself, Sheikh? Because based on my experience interacting with Chinese people, not many of them could speak English very well. Secondly, it's very difficult for Chinese tongue to speak not only English but also to speak Arabic. So I know that تكلمت اللغة العربية جيدا. You can speak Arabic as well very well. So how about yourself? How you gain the knowledge?
We get the knowledge first from the Shenyang Islamic Institute. First, in fact, in my family, my parents teach the Islam knowledge first. Second, I go to the Shenyang Islamic Institute for study 4 years. Then go to the Pakistan International Islam University, special for Islamic studies, 4 years, for Suruddin studies, for Arabic, for English, so together to study. So now I can speak Arabic, also I can speak English somehow. Nowadays, I think many Chinese young Muslims can speak English and Arabic, like my aged people, because in the age of some people not very take attention to be the study English, only take attention to write. Write is okay, but speaking difficult. Now change. Many young people can speak. As you know, you go to the street, if you speak to some young people, maybe most of the young people can understand.
Last year you visit Indonesia, but not Indonesia in general, because you only visit Jakarta, I think.
Jakarta only.
Yeah. What was the impression that you got from Muslim, Islam, and religion in Indonesia?
Very good. Also, the Islam in the Indonesia, in every place, the face of it is good. Also, the Indonesia accept different beliefs, like Buddhist, Catholic, Christian, different beliefs accepted by the Indonesia country. This is good. It's very good. The country, every country, if we want to develop it, must accept a different civilization, study each other, can be encourage each other for the development.
As we know that there are many mazhab in Islam. In Indonesia, we usually practice based on Shafi'i mazhab. What about in China?
The Chinese Muslims, according to the mazhab Hanafi. But in fact, I think I do not encourage every people to be following every mazhab. I think I follow the Quran, I follow the Hadith is enough. Mazhab only the understanding, different understanding for the Quran, for the Hadith. It is not important. Important things we must uniting. وَاعْتَصِمْ بِحَبْلِ اللَّهِ جَمِيعًا ولا تفرقوا. How can I follow this? The Quran says, if the Arab people encourage the madhab, this is not unite. Maybe separated for the Muslims group. So we are Muslims. Innamal mu'minun ikhwa. We follow the Quran. We follow the Hadith. It's okay enough. Madhab, you can read no problem. But if you follow every madhab strongly, I think this maybe have some not good influence. So I do not encourage the madhab.
People in many countries, in some countries, they think that people practicing religion in China is not that free.
In China, practice of the religion is free. No any problem. This is our law, recorded very well. That every people can be the believing or not believing, as the people choice, no any problem. But practice of the religions must be normal. If the extremist country against it, I think every country against the extremist. This is also against the Islamic law. Islamic law encourage the people must be meeting to do everything. So in China also, country and the Muslim group encourage that every Muslims must be do everything, every practice of the religion to be the meeting, by the meeting. By the meeting, that means also by the Islamic law also. So no have any strictly to be the every religion, no have.
Yeah. I also noticed that there are many higher ranking officials in China who are Muslim, like the minister, including one of those, probably the Secretary General of China ASEAN Expo Secretariat, and they are having the positions in the higher ranking officials positions. So I think that's one of the signs that people with religion in China has the same right, the same opportunities with other people in China. So what do you think about that?
In Chinese, to the every religions, the one standard, not high, not low, to be the respected to be the every religion for the one standard, not give some the regions very high, give some the regions very low. No have like this situation. The regions equality in China do is very well, I think. So as you know, also from the television, from the different news, we are regions people often to be together for the meeting to discuss some things, to do the every charitable for the society. They like very uniting each other.
So final questions. I'm as Indonesians and you are as Chinese. We understand that religion could be part of our cooperation between the two countries, including probably China with other countries as well, not only Indonesia. So what do you think from Islamic perspective on how China and other countries could cooperate?
The Chinese Islam nowadays also Chinese Islam Association to be the relationship, good relationship with different countries like Indonesia, Malaysia, Singapore, also different countries, Islam countries, or no Islam countries also. So China Islam Association often organized some group to be the development, to be the interview for the culture, for Islamic civilization, often interview, dialogue. Also, the Chinese Islam Association often take part in the dialogue between the different religions, with the Christian, with the Buddhist, with the Tao, with the Catholic. Often,
you are the leader of Islamic Association here in Guangdong.
Yeah.
How many associations in China actually for Muslim communities?
Every province one, the Islam Association. In China altogether 31 provincial Islam Association. In Beijing also have Central Islam Association, the China Islam Association. I am also the vice president.
In city like Guangzhou, do you also have association?
A city also have, but city many. Different cities have different regions association. 1,000 maybe have, 1,000 maybe have. But I counted.
Yeah, the number. Okay, thank you very much, Sheikh, for your time. So I hope the message that you send to people overseas, particularly for Indonesians, will be very useful for our cooperation in the future.
Inshallah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Sheikh.
Thank you.
Assalamualaikum.
Assalamualaikum.
Terima kasih sudah menyaksikan video ini secara penuh. Dan buat kamu yang ingin terus mendukung saya untuk membuat konten-konten berikutnya yang berkualitas, kamu dapat mendukung saya dengan subscribe YouTube channel ini, like dan juga share videonya. Dan kamu juga dapat terus mendukung saya melalui akun Patreon saya yang ada di bawah ini. Semoga bermanfaat. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.